So, good afternoon to one and all present over here. So, today we are having a very renowned speaker, Dr. Amit Chaudhary. Currently, he is working as professor in the Department of Pharmaceutics in School of Pharmacy, Chitkara University. And let me introduce little bit about him. Uh, Dr. Amit Chaudhary is the member of DAAC Committee, School of Pharmacy, Chitkara University. He is the member of Board of Studies, School of Pharmacy, Chitkara University. He has been awarded with so many awards like best when he was handling the principalship at Vilashi University, Vilashi College. He was awarded with Best Institute Award. He was awarded with Best Researcher Award as well as Best Employee Award at Avilashi University during the session 2020 to 2021. He was also awarded as the Best Principal Award by Society of Pharmaceutical Education and Research on October 8th, 2021. And he has been continuously learning aptitude and participated in more than 65 seminars. He has delivered more than 30 guest lectures. He has guided 79 students so far, among which 72 are from PG and 8 are from PhD. He is having 85 research and review papers with good impact journals. He is having 18 years of experience in academics and research, and he has conducted 3 projects funded by DST, Feast, Himcost, DST Serve, etc. He is having 10 patents, out of which 6 has been granted till today. He has authored so many books. So this was a brief introduction about our today's speaker. So on the behalf of ISFCP family, we welcome you to this dialogue series, sir. And his today's talk is Electrifying Healthcare, Exploring the Potential of Bioelectronic Medicines. So which is very hot topic in today's time. So I request you to start your lecture, sir. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Good afternoon to respected Dr. J.D. Gupta sir, Director cum Principal ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga, Punjab, Vice Principal Dr. R.K. Narang sir, Moderator Dr. Rohit Bhatia ji, and all my respected pharma professionals. Today is a proud moment for me to be invited to deliver lecture on the topic entitled Electrifying Healthcare, Exploring the Potential of Bioelectronic Medicines under the Aegis of ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga. So thank you so much, Dr. Rohit ji, for inviting me in today's lecture series, and thank you so much ISF College of Pharmacy for giving me this opportunity to share my views in respect to the bioelectronic medicines, a new era in healthcare system. So let us begin with this slide. It is showing, Dr. Rohit.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
It is visible, है ना?
Yes, sir. First slide is visible. Kindly change the slide.
Now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's working. You can proceed, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will start. Now today's topic is bioelectronic medicine and what are the recent developments going on in this research. So we can say that bioelectronic medicines are also known as electroceuticals or neuromodulation therapies, representing a cutting edge field at the interaction of biology, electronics, and medicine. So these innovative therapies involve using small implantable devices to regulate the electrical signals within the body nervous system to treat various medical conditions. The goal of bioelectronic medicines is to restore normal neural function and provide targeted personalized medicines without relying solely on traditional pharmaceutical drugs. So bioelectronic medicines, what are the aims of bioelectronic medicines? Here we can say that bioelectronic medicines aims to harness the body on electrical pathway to treat disease and conditions that were previously challenging to manage or even untreatable using environmental approaches. So these emerging fields plays a very significant role for addressing the chronic conditions such as neurological disorders, inflammatory disease, or we can say the metabolic disorders and many more. So now the how bioelectronic medicines works. Okay. What is the basic mechanism how the bioelectronic medicine work? So in order to treat medical disease, electrical impulses are used in both bioelectronic devices and bioelectronic drugs. So let us examine each concept in detail before talking how they correlate. So the idea behind bioelectronic medicines is to treat disease and conditions by targeting specific nerves or neural circuits with precise electrical signals, thereby restoring the body normal functions. So these therapies work by using small implantable devices that interface with the nervous system, and they can be used to treat a wide range of conditions including neurological disorders, or we can say the autoimmune disease or metabolic disorders, and more. So by stimulating or inhibiting the neural activity, bioelectronic medicines can essentially hack the body's nervous system to achieve the therapeutic effect without relying on traditional pharmaceutical drugs. So here now question arises that what are the implantable devices? So bioelectronic devices, or we can say the implantable devices, so these are the technological instruments used to deliver the electrical impulses in bioelectronic medicine. So these devices can vary in complexity, and but they have the common goal of interfacing with the body's neural circuits to modulate their activity. So bioelectronic devices are designed to be safe, biocompatible. They should be compatible with the body tissues or cells, we can say, and capable of precise control over the electrical signals which they generate. Now, there are some examples of bioelectronic devices. There are some example of bioelectronic devices. Uh, there are, we can say, the neurostimulators. Neurostimulators are there. Neurostimulators, implantable devices that deliver electrical impulses to specific nerves or areas of the brain. Another one is electrodes. So they are thin, flexible, conductive materials, and that can be implanted near nerves or organs to deliver the electrical signals. And third one is bioelectronic sensors. So device that can sense and monitor biological signals in the body. So such as we can say, for example, the glucose level, and respond with appropriate electronic feedback. So there are so these are some examples of bioelectronic uh, sensors. Now, my next slides. Uh, my next slides, you can see. Uh, Now, he's a scientist, Calvin J. Tracy. He is a prominent researcher in the field of bioelectronic medicine, and he is known for his work in advancing the concept of using electrical signals to modulate the body's neural circuits and control various physiological processes. Control various physiological processes. Now, this one. Now, this slide. Here, this slide shows the mechanism of TNF, that is a tumor necrosis factor. So here we will discuss. First of all, I just want to brief in this thing. What is the basic mechanism of bioelectronic medicines, and the correlation, how we can correlate bioelectronic medicines and bioelectronic devices. The correlation between bioelectronic medicines and bioelectronic devices is that the devices are essential components used to implement the bioelectronic therapies. Without the bioelectronic devices, the concept of bioelectronic medicines will not be feasible, we can say. So these devices enables precise and targeted modulation of neural pathway, allowing for effective treatment of various medical conditions. And in brief, we can say that the bioelectronic medicines represent a revolutionary approach to treating disease by utilizing electrical signals to influence the neural circuits, while bioelectronic devices are the technological tool that enables the delivery of these electrical pulses of therapeutic purposes. So together they form a powerful combination at the forefront of medical research and innovation. So now we'll come to the next point of what are the mechanism of bioelectronic medicine. So what is the basic mechanism of bioelectronic medicine? The mechanism of bioelectronic medicines revolves around stimulating or inhibiting the specific neural pathway to regulate the body response and restore normal function. So here is a general outline of how bioelectronic medicines work. So first of all, we will discuss about the neural circuit identification. So researchers can identify the neural circuit or nerve pathway responsible for the disease or condition they aim to target. This often involves a deep understanding of the body nervous system and its role in maintaining the proper physiological balance. And next is implantation of bioelectronic device. So a small implantable we can say the bioelectronic device is surgically placed near the target nerve or neural circuit. This device consists of electrodes that can deliver precise electrical signals to the nerve. And next step is electrical stimulation. The implanted device delivers control electrical impulses to the target nerve or neural circuit. The electrical signals can either stimulate or inhibit the nerve activity depending on the desired therapeutic effect. Next is nerve communication modulation is very important. So by stimulating or inhibiting the target nerve, bioelectronic medicines can modulate the communication between the nerve and organ or tissue involved in the disease process. So this modulation can lead to the restoration of normal biophysiological functions. Another step is feedback mechanism. This is very important. What is the feedback they are receiving from the nerve or electrons within the body? So some advanced bioelectronic devices incorporate feedback mechanisms that monitors the body responses to the electrical stimulation. This allows the device to adjust the signals in real time, optimizing the therapy's effectiveness and ensuring the safety. Next step is therapeutic effect. The precise electrical stimulation provided by the bioelectronic device result in therapeutic effects by we can say the correcting the underlying neural imbalances that contribute to the disease or condition. So here we can say we can summarize it that bioelectronic medicines have shown the significant role in treating the various conditions including uh, including neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease, or we can say the epilepsy and chronic pain, as well as the inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease. So the field of bioelectronics is continuously evolving, and ongoing research aims to expand its applications to more medical conditions and improve the technology precision and efficacy. So however, it's essential to note that some bioelectronic treatment are still in the experimental on early stages of development, and their widespread adoption will depend on the further research and clinical trials. So here we can say that further clinical trials they are also required in bioelectronic devices. Now, here we are in this slide. This slide shows the TNF, the tumor necrosis factor. So in small quantities, it's beneficial in regulating immune system, but in excess, it damages organ, cause blood pressure to plummet and cause lethal shock. So here, how we can relate what is the mechanism of bioelectronic devices towards the TNF. So one area where bioelectronic medicines so great role is in the treatment of TNF, tumor necrosis factor related disease. TNF is a pro-inflammatory cytokinin involved in the regulation of the immune system and plays a significant role in various inflammatory conditions. So this regulation of TNF is associated with several diseases, including rheumatoid arthritis, a chronic autoimmune disorder, we can say, that affects the joints, and leading to the inflammation, pain, and eventually the joint damage. Another one is inflammatory bowel disease, including Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, which are chronic inflammatory disorders of the gastrointestinal tract. Another disease is psoriasis and autoimmune skin conditions. It is related to the skin conditions characterized by red and scaly patches on the skin. So here TNF bioelectronic medicines are the specific subset of bioelectronic therapies that focus on modulating the production or activity of TNF. So TNF is a cytokine, we can say, is a type of signaling molecules that plays a crucial role in inflammation and immune responses. In some conditions, such as autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and psoriasis, excessive production of TNF can lead to the chronic inflammation or tissue damage. This is the major drawback with this TNF. The mechanism of TNF, bioelectronic medicines involve the use of electrical stimulation of to control the specific nerve that can influence the production and release of TNF. So by regulating the neural signals, these therapies can finally tune the body's immune response and inflammation levels. One way to achieve this is by targeting the vagus nerve. One way is to achieve this is by targeting the vagus nerve. Here we can I can show you. I can show you the vagus nerve. Yes, in this slide. So one way to achieve this is by targeting the vagus nerve, a prominent nerve that connects the brain to the various organs and including those involved in the immune system. Electrical stimulation of the vagus nerve can activate a specific neural pathway called the inflammatory reflex. So here we can say that uh, there are many research and development they are still going on in the field of bioelectronic medicines, and several experimental studies and clinical trials have been conducted to explore their potential therapeutic benefits in various diseases, including those related to the TNF dysregulation. The question of now next in the next slide, I will show you this. Uh, that why TNF was produced in some condition and not at all, not all. So here we can say that TNF production is tightly regulated in the body, and its synthesis is triggered by various stimuli such as infection, injury, or inflammation. So in normal physiological conditions, the immune system produces TNF as a part of the body response to infectious or tissue damage. However, in a controlled laboratory setting of bioelectronic studies, the conditions may not simulate the specific triggers that would naturally lead to the TNF production. So, therefore, TNF might not be produced at all or produced at different level compared to what happened during an actual immune system. So, here we are talking about the vagus nerve. Here, vagus nerve plays a very important role in the mechanism of bioelectronic and bioelectronic medicines. So, vagus nerve, as it is as very clear to all of you that vagus nerve is also called the 10th cranial nerve, a crucial component of the autonomic nervous system, which control involuntary functions of the body such as heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, and more. It is the longest cranial nerve and has branches that connect to various organs and tissue throughout the body. Now, the mechanism of bioelectronic medicines related to the vagus nerve can be summarized by these points. I can show you vagus nerve stimulation. So, in this approach, what happens? A small electronic device, often referred to as a vagus nerve stimulator, is surgically implanted near the vagus nerve. This device is programmed to deliver mild electrical impulses to the nerve, so which helps regulate the nerve's activity. Now, second thing is electroceutical signaling. Signaling. The electrical impulses delivered by the vagus nerve stimulator generate specific pattern of signaling to target different physiological functions. So the signaling pattern are designed on extensive research and clinical studies to have therapeutic effect on specific conditions. Now, next is regulation of neural activity. So here we are discussing the mechanism of vagus nerve which are connected with the bioelectronic devices. The electrical stimulation helps regulate the activity of the vagus nerve, which in turn influences the activity of various organs and tissues connected to the nerve. So by modulating the vagus nerve activity, bioelectronic medicines can exert control over a wide range of bodily functions. Now, in the next slide, vagus nerve control TNF. It's very clear, proved in rats by electrically stimulating the vagus nerve. Uh, by electrically stimulating the vagus nerve that turned off the production of TNF, later used in the patient, where a small stimulator was put in the neck of the patient. Now, the neurotransmitter, here we can discuss that how the neurotransmitter release when vagus nerve is connected with the bioelectronic devices, how the neurotransmitter release. So vagus nerve stimulation induces the release of certain neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, which play a crucial role in transmitting signals between nerve cells. So these neurotransmitters can have profound effects on different organ systems, leading to the therapeutic outcomes. Now, what are the therapeutic applications? What are the therapeutic applications? What are the here in this slide you can see the electrons in the stimulator would send signal to the patient to the turn TNF as we discussed in the previous slide. Now potential replacement for monoclonal antibodies. Okay, this slide shows the mechanism. Yeah, we discussed about this how it works. Now in this slide these are the body organs like heart, liver, GI tract, and these are connected with the afferent vagus nerve activity, and ultimately it will release the acetylcholine receptor that is connected to the TNF. Now uh, in discussion we can say the effectiveness of bioelectronic medicines can vary from person to person. Therefore, each patient vagus nerve stimulation parameters, for example, like frequency, amplitude, and pulse width, may be adjusted based on their specific conditions and response to the treatment, making it a form of personalized medicines. So, need of this technology. Very important question: what is the future? What is the future of this technology? Very basic question. What the future of bioelectronics? So here we can say that if we discuss about this targeted treatments, because these are the personalized medicines which are related to the bioelectronic medicines, and we can say the targeted medicines. So bioelectronic medicines have the potential to provide more targeted treatments compared to the traditional drugs by directly interfacing with the nervous system that might have fewer side effects and potentially better outcomes for the patient. Now, one more application, one more important thing with this technology is the long-term savings. If bioelectronic medicines can provide long-lasting or even permanent relief of chronic conditions, so they could lead to the significant cost saving over time by reducing the need of ongoing medical treatments and interventions. Next important application of bioelectronic devices are there, and how we can utilize how what is the need of this technology in the initial development cost. The development and manufacturing of bioelectronic devices may involve significant upfront cost, which could impact their affordability and accessibility initially. Next is the competition and regulation. So, as the field of bioelectronic medicines grows, competition and advancement in technology could lead to the cost reduction. So, additionally, regulatory factors and reimbursement policies may also influence the overall cost effectiveness. Comparative analysis. If you talk about this, the comparative analysis of this technology, the cost effectiveness of bioelectronic medicines would also depend on how they compare to the existing treatment options in terms of efficacy, safety, and cost. Now, in the next slide, uh, there is now a greater potential for high precision approaches to treat patients through specific neuromodulation. Now, in this slide shows the various disease as we discussed in the earlier slide: rheumatoid arthritis, what is the clinical result? The RA disease severity improved significantly after vagus nerve stimulation. What is the mechanism? In case of Crohn's disease, in this pilot VNS study, 5-7 participants involved. Then, in case of paralysis conditions, motor impairment level improved, allowing participant to grasp and manipulate different size object with different grips. Same in case of Parkinson's disease. Comparisons showed that neurostimulation as compared with the medical caused greater improvement from the baseline to 6. Now, this slide. Examples of bioelectronics. A very common question arises. Whenever we are discussing about this topic, there is a question. There is always a one question. That is, sir, what are the examples of bioelectronics? So here we can say that pacemakers are available in the market. You have seen this about, you have heard about this artificial limb. Then biosensors are there. Biosensors are there. Then in this slide, also called artificial pacemakers. They have a boon to patient by regulating their heartbeats. If you talk about the artificial limbs, for example, who have lost their limbs in accidents, artificial limbs are used. So bioelectronics is used to power them. The main role of bioelectronic devices is used to power them because they are connected to your neuron system. So control them, modify and manipulate their structure as well the needs. What are the sensors? What is the role of sensors? Sensors are attached to the body to monitor the body temperature and measure stress and strain in specific parts of the body. Here in this slide, bioelectronics and implanted device. These are the some devices. If you press these devices in your hand, automatically position after a period of the low battery warning is also there. There are various technology available, so it can reduce the stress. Now, bioelectronics and implanted devices. Kidney remove. This slide shows the kidney remove metabolic waste from the body and regulate fluid volume and distribution on continuous around the clockwise. So with traditional hemodialysis, patients are hooked up to a machine for 4 hours, 3 times a week. So it will definitely give you relief. In this slide, you can say the patient is totally paralyzed, and with the help of this technology, you can see there is a movement. He is dropping some into this container and putting this flask into the hand. So these are the possible only because of this technology. Artificial heart is also there and would be used only in patients who are close to the death and have no other treatment option. Tested in only 14 men, but this technology is required much more clinical trials because 2 died from the operation and another never regained consciousness. This is the drawback with this technology, which is going on, which is under process. So the rest survive only on average of 5 months within one exception. A man who lived 17 months until the mechanical heart root out. So these are the some drawbacks with this. Now you can say bioelectronic device and implemented devices, artificial eye, restore vision to patient and certain forms of retinal blindness. This happens when rods and cones degenerate, but nerve cells that connect to the eye to brain remains healthy. Here, so GlaxoSmithKline and Indonova, DARPA, Pentagon, DARPA, we can say these are the some mainly focus on humans. These industries mainly focus on humans and machine teaming, bioelectronics for tissue regeneration. GlaxoSmithKline, consumer healthcare. What they did, GlaxoSmithKline have an exploratory funding program which support more than 30 projects across more than 25 institutions around the world. So particular focus on neural signal analysis for recording data sets, higher resolution interfacing for the targeted disease nerves, and circuit mapping and tracing. The new company will bring together GlaxoSmithKline world-class drug discovery and development expertise and deep understanding of disease biology with very world-leading technology expertise in the miniaturization of low-power electronics, device development, data analytics, and software development for clinical applications. And the name given is Galvani Bioelectronics. So in this way, my pharma professionals, we can say, now I am concluding my lecture with the points which are very important. The bioelectronic medicines represent a groundbreaking frontier in the field of healthcare by harnessing the body on electrical signals and neural pathway. So these innovative therapies hold the potential to revolutionize the treatment of various chronic disease and conditions. As researchers continue to uncover the interfaces of the human nervous system and develop increasingly sophisticated bioelectronic devices, we can anticipate a future where traditional pharmaceutical interventions are complemented or even replaced by these remarkable electronic therapies. So, with ongoing advancement and clinical trials showing promising results, and the journey towards a new era of personalized and targeted bioelectronic mechanism is well underway. So with these words, I'm concluding my lecture, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, ISF College of Pharmacy, for giving me this opportunity to share my views on the topic bioelectronic devices. Thank you so much.
So thanks a lot for this wonderful lecture, sir. You have made us aware about a new era in pharmaceuticals, and you have systematically discussed about bioelectronics, medical devices. What is the relationship between bioelectronic medicine and bioelectronic medicine devices? You have explained the mechanism. Then you have told us about neurostimulators, electrodes. Then you have taken the examples of TNF alpha, cytokines, several diseases, mechanism of vagus nerve, various therapeutic roles, as well as the future of bioelectronics. And you have shown examples of bioelectronics like pacemaker, artificial heart, and some application in paralysis. So this was a wonderful thing for us, and we will definitely, the listeners and our students will definitely get benefit from this lecture, sir. So we are very grateful to you for sparing your time for this lecture. So I am thankful to Dr. Veer Vikram